poem is by Alice Walker, spoken by me, Amelia. And I say peace to all the brothers and sisters that are scattered across the world. Gather. It is still hard to believe that millions of us saw Eric Garner die. He died with that look, that would look like a half dozen heavily clad policemen standing on his body, twisting and crushing him, especially his head and neck. He was a big man, too. That must have felt like clumsy midgets as they dragged him down. Watching the video, I was reminded of the first lynching I quite unintentionally learned about. It happened in my tiny lumber mill town before the cows were brought in and young white girls on ornate floats became dairy queens. A big man, too, whom my parents knew. He was attacked also by a mob of white men in white robes and hoods and battered to death by their 2x4s. I must have been a toddler overhearing my parents talk and mystified by pieces of something called 2x4s. Later, building a house, I would encounter the weight, the heaviness of this varying length of wood and began to understand. What is this hatred of the big black man, or the small black man, or the medium-sized black man, or the brown man, or the red man, in all his sizes that drives the white lynch mob mentality? I always thought it was envy of the sheer courage to survive and ceaselessly resist conformity, enough to sing and dance, or orate, or say in so many outlandish ways, "You're not the boss of me." Think of how many black men said, "Cracker, you're not the boss of me," even enslaved. Think of how the legal lynch mob so long ago tore Nat Turner's body in quarters, skinned him, and made money purses of his hide. Who are these beings? Now we are beginning to ask the crucial question. If it is natural to be black, or red, or brown, or is it beautiful to resist oppression? And if it's gorgeous to be of color and walking around free, then where does the problem lie? Who are these people that kill our children in the night, murder our brothers in broad daylight, refuse to see themselves in us as we have stained over centuries to see ourselves in them? Perhaps we are more different than we thought. And does this scare us? And what of, for instance, those among us who collude? Gather, come see what stillness lies now in the people's broken hearts, in the quiet forth of comprehension, of realization of the meaning of our ancient and perfect contrariness, and what must now be understood and done to honor and cherish ourselves, no matter whose today bosses may be. Our passion and love for ourselves that must at last unite and free us as we lay our sacrificed beloveds to rest in our profound and ample caring, broad, ever-moving, holy as the sea, cracker from the crack of the whip wielded by slave drivers.